What is going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023, and you are live, or we are live on the Torian Rain Reloaded channel. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button. If you are new to the channel, welcome. All new subscribers. If you have not done so already, make sure to go ahead hit that bell twice to be notified, so you will know every time I go live or upload a new video. And as y'all can see, it is a very special live stream that I'm doing this evening because, as y'all know, I do not go live on Tuesdays typically. Usually that is reserved for Fridays. But as y'all can see by the title, I'm going to have some special guests on this evening to deliver what I believe is one of the best songs that I've heard this summer. I promise you, I'm not embellishing it. I mean that wholeheartedly. But before I actually bring them up, let me go ahead and acknowledge some people that are in the chat so far. We got Chris Vesey, Demarcus Vaughn, Roland Randolph, Denise Scales, Concerned Black Citizen, The Greek Surgeon, Carlton Way, Terrence Jackson, and D. Foster. Shout out to everyone that is in here so far. And I'm sure more people will start to trickle on in momentarily. But without further ado, I'm going to bring up the first guest. I actually have two people, but I bring up the first guest. Now, the first person I'm bringing up has been on my channel before. They are a subscriber on my channel. They make music. They're B1. They're from New York. The FBA. You know, all around good individual. I've actually met this person at the Rally for Reparations last November, and then I had a opportunity to meet up with them again in Dallas for the expo. And y'all can see their name right there in the title. So I'm going to go ahead and bring them up now, and they can properly introduce themselves. None other than Brother Sage. What's going on? You got to unmute yourself.
Black first. Sorry about the technical difficulties, brother.
You good? You good?
How's everything? Peace to the family in the room. Thank you guys so much for showing popping out. I can't wait to get into the topic of tonight. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So the next person I'm going to bring up, I actually just got acquainted with them through Sage, through a DM. I guess you could say like that. And like this is actually our first time actually communicating to each other face to face. But this is Sage's, I would say, music collaborator. Is that the best way to put it?
Music partner.
Music partner.
We collaborate on music. One of my closest and deepest best friends I grew up with.
Cool. I'm going to bring them.
Also, full foundation of Black American, might I add.
Cool. Right. All right. So with no further ado, I'm gonna bring them up. What's going on?
What's up, family? Thanks for having me up here. I think we met before too. We met at the reparations rally.
Really?
Yeah, we definitely met.
See, listen, there was so many people out there. Like, you know, like it was a lot of people out there. So I probably did see you, and probably forgot. It was a lot of people at that rally. You know, definitely amazing turnout. So definitely an amazing event nonetheless. But as y'all can see,
shout out to Cali House.
Right.
Speaking of the reparations rally, shout out to Cali House.
Exactly. But yeah, I have both of these brothers on here today because they dropped some music, and I actually had a chance to listen to the song. And I'm sure tonight, the family will be able to hear it as well. I actually pinned the link to the song at the top of the chat when I made this window open before I went live. So some people may have had an opportunity to hear it, maybe not. But if you have not, you will be able to hear it tonight. And I actually found out that you were making this song because you had a request from me.
Yes. I kind of broke this news without your permission the other night on we was on Afro Release program, and the cat's off the bag. I wanted to say this. Torian Rain works on a lot of artwork, and I seen we had a conversation in the back channel in which you showed me the Michael Jackson artwork that you did.
Mm-hmm.
So that inspired me to hit you up like, hey, why don't we do some work together? One of our biggest problems was like, finding consistent graphic designers. And I'm like, oh, this dude's sitting right here. I'm like, Torian, could we have a conversation? And then we did. So yeah. Yes, sir. So this is technically what y'all looking at. The thumbnail of the chart, of the broadcast. That's Torian Rain's artwork. So salute to this brother for just having a great turnaround. Salute to this brother for just me not really giving him a concept and just sending him a photo like, hey, here's the song, here's the photo, do whatever you feel with that. So shout out to you, brother. Thank you for coming through.
Appreciate that.
I definitely.
Yeah, man, just being
I'm
creative.
glad that you kept me in mind to actually do it. And believe it or not, that was my first time ever creating an album cover. Like I've never, like up until this point, I've never made an album cover before. So like, and the thing is, whenever I do or create certain things, it's like I know what I'm gonna do. But when it comes to like something like that, that's when I really have to like think about what I'm going to do with this imagery and how I'm going to alter it, but also still make it drive home a point. I'm not even gonna lie, when you had told me, yes, Satorian, can you put the parental advisory on there? I'm like, wow. I said, now I feel like I made it or something like that. I get to put a parental advisory on an album cover, let alone make one. But I'm definitely glad that you kept me in mind to actually make this cover for your song. I definitely appreciate it. But I guess my first question I have for both of you is I guess you can it's pretty like self-explanatory. How did you two get in, like how did you two get into music? Like what drove you to actually want to get into music?
Well, for me, it was basically my parents. I used to just bang on pots and pans and furniture in the house. So it was like, yo, maybe we should get into music and like learn an instrument. So as I got to high school, I joined the band, and that's where I met Sage. We both was in the band. We both was in percussion. I learned to play the drums, learned to read and write music, and then I played piano by ear. Then next thing you know, we just kind of hit it off. We just was friends, and we was like, yo, we might as well like let's try to make music. I never recorded a song. I never made a beat and gave it to anybody. Like I didn't know that whole process. So I was basically learning as I was going along the logistics of it. And I just knew how to play instruments and knew how to read music and whatnot. But as far as that, next thing you know, we recorded our first song. It was just like one beat that was just looped. I didn't know how to sequence nothing, didn't know how to add a hook and add anything. So we just kept doing that, and I just kept getting better, and we just kept recording. And then one day, Sage was like, yo, maybe you should like write on a song and like sing and rap on a song. Next thing you know, I ain't looked back since, and we just been doing it ever since. And that was what, I mean, like 15, 20 years ago, and now we still rocking.
Yeah, man. That was like exactly 16 years now. Exactly 16 years ago now. That the first song took place. For me, on my side, I used to be into, well, I still am. I'm into a lot of poetry. I would read like a lot of poetry, and then I would write a lot of poetry. It actually started back in like elementary school, in which I failed a project because I had to write a poem, and for some reason I couldn't write a poem then. Nothing was coming out, so I made it my mission to start writing poetry. So I used to write like love poetry to females in which I had a crush on during the time. And then my friend John, he told me like, hey, why don't you just put some of these poems on a beat? So to take it all the way back, we used to record on like a radio. We used to have like a little blue radio, and we would record our vocals onto there. So I would be like reciting my little poems, and a lot of my early songs were love songs because that's all that was in my heart during the time. This is when I was like maybe like 15, somewhere around there, maybe 13, 15, around that age. So it was all like, hey girl, I want to buy you some flowers. It was that type of vibe. And don't. So I ended up going to high school, and like my brother Warren said, I ended up joining the band. And I think my brother Warren is overstating it. This dude, when it comes to percussion and making a beat, a lot of the beats that you guys hear are produced and arranged by him. So I know he makes it seem like it's a very simple process. It's truly not. To get into that booth and to actually, work on one-on-one with the engineer on a beat that you've created, and to take certain things out and to add it in, it's a very tedious process that goes down. So I met this brother because he was one of the best dudes. Him and his partner was they were the best dudes in the whole high school when it comes to on that drums. They were the best. So what happened was that I didn't know at the time, but they were doing beats on the side, their own beats, and I was doing my own music on the side. But I was getting on like 50 Cent songs. We would get on like industry or commercial beats. And then in college, that's when me and my brother we went to college also together. Yeah, newsflash, Sage went to college. Yeah, and graduated by the way. But what was I saying? After when we were in college, that's when we decided, hey, why don't we mix your beats with your rhymes and put it together and see what comes out. And the first song we ever did was a song called Far Away that you will never hear. You're never gonna hear that song. We're not gonna ever release that song because
we should put that shit out.
Hell no, it's so like premature. It's so like cheesy. It's we were very young. Okay. But ever since that, we've grown and we've become very consistent at working together. We know how each other works. I know how to bounce off of him. He knows how to bounce off of me. There's a lot of times in which, like I'll tell him like, hey, I'm looking for this kind of beat. And he'll already have a concept in mind. Like, all right, let me make this kind of beat. Boom, boom, send something to me. And then we won't even get in contact with each other for like 2 weeks. And then that next day will be the studio session, but everything will be written out. And that's how we work a lot of times. That's how we work a lot of times.
Cool.
I have like a weird feeling of like I like to get my ideas out like right before the session, because I feel like if I sit around and wait too much, I constantly want to change things. So it's best I just do it right before, so we can just get it out, and then once it's out, I can't control it.
Yeah. I think that's like a common theme with people who are creatives. Like a lot of times they can be very indecisive about whatever it is that they want. It's like at first it's like you have this one concept, then another concept comes, and then you replaces that one, or you can tweak that one and add something else in. It's like to the point where you're never truly satisfied. And I think that's like the con to being a creative. I mean, it's a lot of pros, but that one right there is probably one of the major cons. That's how I am when it comes to me creating, like when I'm doing like my graphic work, or whenever I'm doing a video. Like I feel like it's something I could have said in there. Should I add it in, or should I just leave it out? And then it's like so you know what, it keeps playing in my head. I just need to add that in, because if I don't put it in there and I play it back once it's finalized and it's out there for the world to see, I'm gonna be mad that I have to just relegate and say in the comment section, also, this is what so and so said or so and so did, realizing I just could have went back and added that in there. But sometimes it's like your subconscious takes over and says, F it, I'm not going, I'm just let it be what it is. But yeah, that was a very, like, I like the backstory that y'all had. Like, it's amazing that y'all have like I guess you can say a collaboration that has spanned almost 2 decades. Like that's amazing, because some people can't last that long, as far as doing music, because it can be a lot of egos involved. A lot of people think that it should go this way, and when a lot of people wanted to go that way, you might have people in your ears saying you should go that way, leave them behind and do your own thing. And I'm sure y'all probably have run into that, because I'm sure like in that industry, it's a lot of people that's there like whispering in your ear that should not be there at all.
My brother kind of alluded to something earlier about, because my brother was told that he shouldn't, be on songs. He should just continue making beats, and that's not really a talent to make songs. But I'm glad that in his mind, he decided, to go in another direction and continue to write music and make music, not just produce music, but also write music, and perform it. And I can't, be more proud of him for doing that.
Definitely.
Appreciate it.
Definitely. But before I go any further, I wanted the family who's in here listening right now, it's 38 people currently right now, and probably is going to go up a little bit later. I wanted them to get an opportunity to hear the song. Just in case they didn't get a chance to. But before I actually play it, do y'all want to give like a little slight overview of what the song is about?
The record basically is just understanding that your life is about choices. You can make the right choice, you can make the bad choice, You could, but it all falls down to that you just got to take accountability with what it is, and just understand that life is just it's about these choices. You got to find a way to make them. You got to find a way to try to avoid them. So that's basically what the song's about. Because we was just basically going back and forth when we wrote this record in Malibu or wherever we was at. It felt like we was just dealing with a whole bunch of different obstacles in life, and we was wondering like, dang, what choices we made that we made it this far? Like we made it all the way here. Who's to say we wasn't supposed to be here? You know what I'm saying? Like what choices we made if we would have been somewhere else. So that's basically, we just wanted to put a record like that together, and this is what came out from it.
Right. And I saw the little behind the scenes stuff on Instagram. You know, like when y'all went to go film, like when y'all shot the cover, like what the people are seeing right there, like when y'all shot that, I was able to see that. I think Sage, I saw it on your Instagram story. I think you posted it up on your Instagram story, and I was able to see it, and I was like, oh, that's where they got that's where the pictures from. Because I knew y'all was in Cali, because I saw, you know, I didn't have to ask where you was at. I could look at that and tell y'all was in Cali when y'all took that picture. But you know, it's just crazy how, like, because when you first sent me the picture and said you wanted me to make a cover out of this picture, I was like, what am I going to do with this? Like, I literally looked at it and was like, what am I going to do? And I was like, New York, perfect. Because you got to think, in California is a metropolitan city. New York is a big metropolitan area. Y'all are both from there. Let me just go ahead and put that in. And I was like, that's it. And that's what I came up with. But
so I did put you on the spot too, because I didn't want to sway you any which way. All I know is I wanted the overview to be something like this, because again, that balcony is exactly where the song was written at. So I didn't want to, like, a lot of times, like, the same thing I did to you, Torian, is what my brother does to me when he sends me a beat. He'll just send the beat and be like, listen, whatever you come up with, we'll work around it. Right. And so that's exactly what I did. Unfortunately, in your situation, I think it was spot on. My brother loved it. It was a go. All you needed to add it was the parental advisory. That was it.
Right.
That was the only thing that
at first I got kind of scared, because when you sent it back to me and said the size need to be adjusted, I was like, oh my God, like, how am I going to do this? That's one of the worst things I can get back in return from a response. We need the size to be adjusted a certain way. But luckily, thank God, Google is your friend. I went in there and typed and said, how do I do the size adjustment thing? Popped right on up, and then I was able to make the size adjustment rather quickly, send it right back, and it was a go. So, you know, I'm definitely, you know, glad that everything worked itself out. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and click play on this thing so everybody in the chat can go ahead and hear this song.
Don't get caught up in this life. Please don't get caught up in this life. Cause everything you see ain't real, and everything you feel ain't real. So don't you get so caught up in this life. Been in some situations, and I made some choices. Some of them was good, and most of that shit was poison. From these dark forces, chasing these homes and these woods with them horses. Got caught up in this weird shit. I let my arrogance take over my pyramid. My mind was lost, took a hit and hit the floor. Fought all my demons, now I'm here standing tall. I really found my peace in a trendsetter. Lord, protect me from these choices. Can't trust a nigga in them black forces. Them black forces that will take from you and put the blame on you and show up at your funeral and hug your moms. I can't trust anymore. It's hard to cope anymore. Don't get caught up in this life. Please don't get caught up in this life. Cause everything you see ain't real, and everything you feel ain't real. So don't you get so caught up in this life.
I ain't coming in right there. Y'all gonna have to wait for this. Okay, Rams, turn me up. Never did it for the faint of heart. Failed niggas going, hey, we too far apart. Not the one to forgive and fuck a family tie. Disrespecting my rib could make you lose a lot. I've been a shit and continue to play that role. Jealousy from the fan won't stop bankrolls. Grew up around fives, never did commit. Never gave any excuse, still made a hit. Still made it to the hill, still stunting live. And I'ma keep moving up, it's just what it is. Had to stunt for a second. Had to put some shit straight for the record. I hit that date, let that shake, take no breaks. Make that cake, no one else can relate. Heaven's sakes, you be great, no mistake. Let us skate so you'll find your soulmate. Still looking for the right catch. Blue cheese, I'm just rolling with a big net. Groupies, I just spread them out through the set. If Chills tell me it's live, then I'ma get next.
Caught up in this life. Please don't get caught up in this life. Cause everything you see ain't real. And everything you feel ain't real. So don't you get so caught up in this life. In this lifetime, in this time, all the choices that for me, don't know where I'll be. And the hills most likely, sand shores and high peak. Got me so caught up in this life.
And there y'all have it, ladies and gentlemen who are in the chat. Choices by Aces. Listen, when I first heard, I'm gonna be honest. When I first heard this song, I was pulled in just by that opening melody right there. When I first heard it, I said it sounded like something that could have either been on a video game soundtrack or a movie soundtrack. Like I said, this sounded like it should be in a movie somewhere. Because it reminded me of, I'm not sure if y'all played or maybe even watched the gameplay for the Spider-Man Miles Morales game. It was a couple of songs in there that reminded me of that song just from the melody alone. And it also reminded me when I was listening to the lyrics, a show that immediately came to mind was Power. Especially especially with the ghost character trying to tell Tariq that you're not about this life. Like, why are you trying to be like this? Like when I thought of that scenario as well. Like, so like I was thinking about a whole bunch of different things as this song was playing out. And Sage, when you began to rap and when I heard you rapping, you reminded me of Nas. Like I heard throwback Nas when I was hearing like your flow, because it was almost kind of like the same cadence right there when I heard that. But all in all, I really did enjoy the song, and I love the fact that I can play it on here and not have to worry about you.
Hell no.
But yeah, like I really did like the song. Like, so what was that like? Like, what was that like? Like, how long did it take y'all to put that song together?
Probably like 40 minutes. In all honesty, yeah. Once I. Because usually in the midst of creating a record and creating a beat, I usually catch a melody for it instantly. So that's what I kind of go off of. And once I had that title, Choices, we just kind of it was just like knitting a sweater. Like one piece add to the next piece, add to the next piece. When we separated, he went and wrote his part, I wrote my part. And the record was done. We had to do was record it. And we knew that we was coming right back again to the studio. So I was cool with just getting it out on paper and then just getting it in. Because usually once I hear that one melody on the hook or the chords or something like that, it becomes easy. If I feel like the record is just talking to us, and we just basically telling you what the record is telling us. That's how I feel.
Cool.
Absolutely. So when my brother said 40 minutes, he's talking about the writing part. The recording part was a whole different aspect because what we like to do too is we'll record the song and then come back to the song maybe like 2 weeks later. Sometimes change some things in our verse or whatever the case is. So, or my brother might change like the drums up, change the sound here and there. I know we added a few samples from James Brown in there, and it was, again, that's what you heard is the final product. But it's funny that you again first of all, that's very humbling to hear that, you know, someone hears Nas. Nas has always been my inspiration for doing music.
Mhm.
My favorite two artists of all time is Nas and Tupac. So I like to think I take personality from Pac and my music ability from Nas. I patent my entire style, cadence, voice, the way I breathe on tracks from him. So it was very humbling because I got to actually tell him that, and I actually got to I actually got him to actually listen to one of my songs to let him know, and thank him for being an inspiration. So shout out to Brother Nas. But for this specific song, I felt like, when it comes to my verse was more about like the choices that people make every day. My verse was somewhat aggressive to the point where I think my brother, you got some background noise over there. But my voice was very like aggressive. Sorry. Yeah, my voice was very like aggressive on the song because my brother came in laid back.
Mhm.
And I wanted to be more aggressive because certain things I just wanted to get across. I feel like a lot of people give excuses, and what I wanted to get across in the song is that you have choices to make every single day.
Mhm.
Young black males, young black females, we have choices to make every single day. So instead of making excuses for yourself, make the right choice and, live with whatever choice that you make. And that's what I wanted to get across in the song. I admitted that I grew up around like a lot of gang members, but that doesn't mean I'm one. I had a choice to go this way or go this way. And in my opinion, my choice was to go that way. And whether it be right or wrong, it got me up here talking to Torian Rain Reloaded. So, and Lord knows where I could have been, so I
Right.
think, like I said, that we make choices every single day. And that's what I wanted to get across in this song. Every
Definitely.
single day we make choices.
I guess my next question is since this is now officially a single, when can we expect a video, if there will be one?
So I want to put together. We're in conversation to put together a video for this song. Right now, I've been talking to a couple of cinematographers. Honestly, the hardest part about videos is finding their location. Because New York is so saturated. Every place in New York has been filmed. I like to go to spots where it's not been filmed so much, and I want to actually get across. I want to get across what the initial topic, the initial thought process of the song was. So we might have to return to LA to record this video.
Right.
Be honest. Tell them that the album is almost finished. That's what it is.
Torian, you're actually in on the process. All right, I'm gonna just break this news. Torian, you're actually in on the process because we're looking at you to do the album cover now. Since you did that,
Wow. Wow. That's
so
crazy.
yeah, I'm bestowing that upon you to do the album cover.
That is insane.
This is a conversation for all the people that listen. This is a conversation that started in the back channel between me and Torian. He did such a good job with this. I'm like, hey, why go elsewhere? Why not keep it in house? Let's keep it with the family and let's do more together. Let's do more work.
That's crazy.
Not to put you on the spot. Don't get nervous now, brother. You did good. So you good. You over there like, God damn. No. But the album is the focus right now. This is just like I want to say like an appetizer to the album. But as far as the video, the album's coming real. I'm not gonna do a timestamp on it. Afro tried to call me out on that. I'm not gonna do a timestamp on it today. But we're looking at 2 to 3 months album. Yeah.
Before the end of the year.
Absolutely.
It's in its last stages.
Yeah. Everything is done, recorded. We're just in the mixing stage of it. So again, it's crazy that, when we're talking about the album, the journey that we took throughout the album, because a lot of this stuff, a lot of things went down, from the George Floyd to, a lot of things with the community. So you're going to get a lot of that on the album. The album is going to it's going to touch upon a lot of aspects of us, I guess I could say the album name. I could say the album name, right? We good? The album name is Shades of Black, because everything in it is gonna be like empowerment and we're gonna touch up on love. We're gonna touch up on the struggles that our people go through. It's gonna be a hard album sometimes to listen to because it's raw. It's gonna be very raw, and we didn't hold back. We have up tempo songs. We have
romantic songs.
Yeah, it's gonna touch upon a lot, and I think our people need that. Yeah, I think our people need that. We don't just need one thing. We don't just
need a variety.
You don't just need doing drugs and women. No. We're so
and I'm
much more
glad,
than
and
that.
that's why I like, and I think that's why I like the song, because it's like it didn't touch on what we commonly hear. Because I can't remember the last time I listened to the radio. A lot of the times, if I'm listening to music, I'm either listening to music I downloaded on my phone, or I'm listening to something on YouTube. But to say that I can't, like the last time I turned on the radio, I couldn't even tell you when the last time that was, because you get tired of hearing the same thing in rotation from different people. It doesn't have to be the same song, but it's the same material. It's like, did y'all all get created in the same lab? It came out the same way, but they probably just changed, they altered a little something about you to make you look different. Like, what makes a person like really stand out? And if this song right here is an example of what we're going to get with the album, I think y'all are definitely going to have a hit on your hands. I always say it's the best albums are the ones that have no skips. When you can listen to it straight through and not skip one song. It's been such a long time since I think we've got an album that has done that.
Yeah. Wow.
Absolutely. We got, and not to piggyback on the album, but like I said, we have certain songs on it that's very controversial that if a major was behind it, probably would not allow us to release it. We got a song when they called Slave, and it's a very controversial song. And I know that, it's going to be a hard listen. Like I said, not hard as in corny. I mean, like hard as in like, what we've gone through. And we address a lot of the things that we go through on a daily basis, our people. So again, it's going to be an interesting listen. It's going to go from conscious to love to romance to club to, choices to, it's going to go all over. And it's very balanced, I would say. The album has a balance to it, and it has a flow to it.
How many tracks?
That's the issue. We don't know if we want to go 11 or a little bit less, but I think to be on a safe sweet spot, it's going to be 11.
So y'all have that many songs?
We have a ton.
We have a lot more.
We have a ton. It's just that we live in a time where people that their attention span isn't as long. So we don't want to overdrown them with 25 records, and we not like major artists yet. So we're trying to keep it at a place, a sweet spot. It's like how I like to call it.
Yeah, because it's like you want to keep it at that level where it's like I guess you can say like almost like a mixtape. Yeah, like something smaller, conducive, because it's crazy because back in the day, you could have an album that had a lot of songs on it and it would play heavy rotation. Nowadays, like you said, with the attention span of a lot of people, that's probably not the best idea to have an album that long. It's like you're trying to compact everything into one album when you could probably easily just split it up and put some of those songs into another album. But I'm glad that y'all are actually doing it. It's giving like people a little tease. People gravitate towards it more. That demand will be high. Then that means whatever songs y'all didn't put on that album can go on the next album, and people will never know that you already had those songs sitting right there already made.
Yep, correct.
Most definitely.
And we have a lot of songs in the vote. When I tell you that there's a lot of songs in the vote that we have that we just wait on timing to release it.
Yeah, what's so crazy? Like, I felt like my creative juices started flowing when you told me that you had wanted me to make the album cover, and then you had told me what the name of the album was going to be. I already played in my head how it would look, or have how a rough draft of what it would actually look just on the title of the album. And the reason why I say that is because what I like to do is I like to go on YouTube and I like to look up different Photoshop tutorials to get an idea of what it is I want to create. That's what I did for that Michael Jackson one that I showed you. And
Yep.
when you said that, I literally saw a video yesterday that literally plays out in my head of how I would actually make that look just on what you told me, as far as the title of the album. Like, it's already playing in my head.
Because that Michael Jackson piece was like extremely creative, and I know you said you had a hard time finding a side profile of Michael.
Yes.
But when you found it, it opened up a world of, you know, the idea that you had. So again, that's what inspired, you know, me, like, hey, yo, you can do this. You can actually do it. You know, why not do it? You know,
Yeah.
let's put you to the test.
Right. And I'm glad that
And
you
you
was
showed
able
up.
I appreciate it. But Sage, you had sent me a whole bunch of pictures in the
I saw that shit. I was like, what's going on here?
You sent me like a whole bunch of pictures, and I'm trying to sit here saying to myself, how am I going to share this with the audience? But I figured it out, you know what it is. So I'm gonna let you explain to me, because I didn't even ask you what these pictures were. I'm assuming it's like some behind the scenes stuff, maybe, possibly. I'm not sure. Or maybe some performances.
Yeah, so just some of these pictures are just past shows that me and my brother did, just to show, like, you know, how active we are and try to be with the music. I know a lot of people look at me as active for speaking truth to power and being an activist, but my first passion was always, even though your passion should be speaking truth to power, my passion also is music, and I love to perform. I love to put on the show. I love to, you know, get the crowd hype. I love to get some type of feelings out of people, and I love to get people in the vibe, and hence the name Sage. You know, I like to bring certain vibes out of people and just make them feel good. You know, I like it when people hear my songs and they can draw their own conclusion from it. I don't write music just to keep it to myself so I can draw a conclusion. I like to hear what others gathered from this song. You know, because now you're taking a journey into my mind. Like my brother said earlier, music is fleeting. You know, so we don't try to drop fast food, as we call it. We try to give you like a nice healthy meal in which you can, you know, digest and something that you can remember. And yeah, I think that's what we want to be remembered by.
Right.
Keep giving out those vibes.
Let me see something here.
I apologize if it's noisy. You know, I'm in New York.
Oh, you good?
The soundtrack to the city is cars and sirens.
No, you good?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. I could imagine how it is out there in DC, man, when you got the goddamn president out there.
I try to stay out of
Well,
DC as much as
right?
I try to stay out of that area as much as I humanly possibly can. I only go into DC when it is necessary. Hold on, here's some more pictures that you sent me as well. So it looks like y'all are performing.
Yeah.
Right
yeah.
And when did this happen? Like you can explain the timeline of these pictures?
So this is probably like in 2017, 2016, that specific showcase. That's our first showcase that we put on ourselves. We put that on ourselves. That was called SOS. And a lot of again, that music that we was performing at that time, that's older music to us now. But there's a lot of more recent, because I took you through like a journey with all the pictures that I sent you. There's a lot of more like recent shows and venues that we've actually like done since that. Yeah, and it just shows you like
growth.
This was an accomplishment for us, because we put this on ourselves. We didn't it wasn't like an open mic session. It wasn't like somebody else's show and we just came through. We actually was promoting it throughout New York City, and we actually got the venue ourselves, sold tickets ourselves, and filled it up ourselves, which was pretty cool. And that was a monumental moment for us.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
It's always
That's
a good thing when you're able to
legendary
do it's always good when you can do for self. That way, it's like, you know, when you look back at it, it's like, we did that. Like we put that together.
Yeah.
Correct. That's the legendary producer, The Alchemist. He's produced a lot of tracks. That picture is actually from Atlanta. We took that when we was at A3C Festival. If there's any music heads in the chat, they probably know what the A3C Festival is in Atlanta.
Tia to you said, are there any love songs on the album? Yeah, there is.
Yes.
I love making like R&B love songs. So that's just definitely there. And it's something that's out now. You can check it out on our website.
Speaking speaking of Michael Jackson, you got the like shiny I know that's the effect from the camera and everything like that.
Moonwalker. Yeah. Yes, Moonwalker. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. That's actually in Quad Studios. That photo right there. That's me and my brother in Quad Studios. Probably like into like a 10-hour session, drained. But again,
you look tired. You look tired in that picture.
Yeah. Yeah. A little draining, as you can see. The studio sessions for us run anywhere from like 5 to 10 hours. It's always draining, but it's when you passionate about something and you love something, you know, you do it. Yeah. And Torian.
This conversation. We really be in there for hours. Just like having a conversation, just like building on things and tweaking things and just talking and like, all right, cool, this might sound cool. And then we'll get into arguments and debates about some off topic.
Yeah, we'll talk about basketball or who is the best rapper of all time, you know. You
gotta have something to pass. You gotta have something to pass. You gotta have something to pass the time when you feel like there is downtime.
Exactly. That was actually in Philadelphia. I forgot the name of that showcase, but we were invited to perform there in Philadelphia. So I totally forgot the name of that showcase, but we drove down to Philadelphia, damn near getting lost on our way back up to New York. But it was it was cool. It was cool, man. It's you know, it was cool. I had no complaints about that. That was a beautiful night.
Don't worry. One day, you know, you'll get big enough and you'll have your own driver, and hopefully they don't get lost getting you where you need to be.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, because y'all know all about them getting lost down in Dallas.
No comment. Hey, no. Yeah. Tariq got to pick a better. He got to pick a better. You know. Much love to Dallas. Let me shut up. Much love to Dallas, because Dallas is amazing. Them Uber drivers, not so much. That's in Platinum Sound Studios, actually. That photo right there. We like to do this too. We have a specific engineer that we work with, but we take him and travel to different studios also.
Right.
He has his own studio, but we also travel with him.
Cool.
Yeah, I get bored looking at the same areas all the time.
Yeah. Yes. Because we feel like the more our music is created off of experience, so we have to experience a lot of different things. So in order to write, you know, the songs that you guys hear, we have to, you know, grow and experience different things. I can't write without experiencing certain things.
Yep.
That's my brother in the studio.
That's Quad,
recording. Right? That's Quad Studios, yeah. I believe that's Quad, yeah.
I think that's the recording of Wonders of the World, if I'm not mistaken.
He remembered the exact song that he was recording during that time. Okay.
That's nice.
Cool. Another showcase again that, you know, we did
in Philadelphia, yeah.
Just vibing. Yeah, just vibing, you know. Again, what we like to do is, again, one thing you're not gonna get from us. We never sold drugs. We never killed anyone. So you're not really going to get that from us. Not to say that that's not, you know, what people, if that's in your heart, you make that. That's fine. But we tend to make what's in our heart. So we like to create like a whole vibe, a whole, you know, how can I put this, brother? How would you describe our music, man? It's not guns, it's not drugs. It's more like,
I don't know, it's life experience, conscious, but also like to have fun with it, like the way we like to have fun. We don't like you said, we don't do any of that gang activity. But anybody who does, that's on them. But that's just not what we do. We was around it, but we never did anything of that magnitude. So our music is just like life experiences, what we go through, what people close to us that went through that they can't, express. And we just try to give them that outlet, and just because I take a lot of pain from people, so
there was another question in the chat from Tia again. She said, "Are there any other artists or producers you want to work with?"
Shit, that list is long as hell.
Like you mean like big artists, or I mean, if it's big artists, I mean, for me, the producer I would want to work with would be Pharrell or Kanye West in that aspect.
Premier.
Definitely Pharrell. Yeah, definitely Premier. Who else do I want to work with?
Dre.
Timbaland. Dr. Dre, Timbaland. Artist wise, honestly, it would be a lot of R&B artists. Like one of the artists that I really want to work with is Chris Brown. I don't know why. I feel like R&B wise, just to bounce ideas would be kind of fire.
That would probably be a dope track to work on. Like it could be like an R&B dance track. Since we know he liked to dance, whether it was a song you could dance to, or if it's a slow song, he's gonna find a way to slide a dance in there somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm. For me, again, all the producers my brother named, from Kanye, Pharrell, Timbaland. My brother named all the producers for the most part. Artist wise, for me, I'm making it short for you, Tia. Artist wise, for me, definitely at the top of my list would always be Nas.
Yeah, definitely.
Kendrick, I would like to work with Kendrick. Who else would I like to work with? I want to work with Lupe Fiasco. That's possible.
J. Cole, definitely.
J. Cole, yeah. Let me get some Southern artists in there.
Cole.
What kind of Southern artists would I like to work with? Oh shit! It'll be a dream for me to work with Andre 3000.
That was the first person that popped up in my head before you even said it.
Oh man. My brother knows I worship 3 Stacks. I think he's one of the best artists to rap. Yeah, man. I mean, again, the list is long, man. The list. I can't name everyone. I'll be going on for days, but yeah, it's such a long list.
Right.
If you're talking about unsigned artists, the artists I plan on working with in the future, Sincere to Love God, I definitely want to do something with him. We've already spoke. Me and my brother Sincere, we've already spoke. We want to do some work together. Yeah, and a couple of artists from New York also that I know that I know definitely want to work with me and my brother. We'll definitely make some leadway with them. But as far as this album that's coming out, there will be no features on this album.
Yeah.
Nice. I feel like that's how it should be. Like I always felt like the first album should just
Currency
be
Spitter is definitely one of those, Carlton. Absolutely. Currency Spitter. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, brother Torian. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I always felt like that first album should be just the artist, so people can see who this person is without the help of a feature. Yeah. Or if you're gonna have a feature, don't have too many features. Yeah. Like you shouldn't have your first album be oversaturated with a bunch of features, because it's like people are going to see you as just a feature artist. So it's supposed to be your album. So I'm glad that y'all are doing this first album that is just with you two, and that way people can understand who y'all are before they say, you know what, I want to work with them. Which, by the way, and I don't know why I didn't ask this question sooner. How did you come up with the name Aces? Like, where did that come from?
I'll let you take that.
We had a ton of names because we was kids, and then we were just sitting down talking. Like, that would be dope to have like a name with like an acronym, and we just came up with Aces, and just always seeing inspiration. And that's just how we took it and just put it together that way. And it's just been that way ever since.
Nice.
Yeah, so like my brother said, the ACEs is an acronym. You know, you always see inspiration in something, and that's what we told you earlier. We write our music through life experiences. You know, so ACEs captures that perfectly. You know, and that last pitch you just showed was very interesting too, because
This one right here.
that was that's the process that takes about 10 hours right there. So after the song is
Yeah.
recorded, like I was explaining that earlier, um, that's when I step back and I start tweeting up, entering spaces or whatever. My brother's behind me working on the music, getting the beat right, getting the vocals right. That's his talent, aside from just writing, and and recording, his ear for music is, second to none, definitely. But that
And
was his passion. He grew up idolizing people like Dr. Dre and Kanye, so that's
yeah,
what they do.
yeah.
Timberland, that's what they do.
So so basically, also y'all, so you pretty much write all your own music.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Listen, I always say when it comes to music, a lot of people think, oh, it's just the person who's doing the rapping or the singing. I'm like, no, the money is behind the writing and the production. Yeah,
Mhm.
I said that's really, when you think about it, or the engineering, that's really
Mhm.
where the money is. And I asked that because I said, y'all keep this up and keep it going all the way forward for many, many years, you might get a BMI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
a lot of people don't know what a BMI is.
They're gonna Google that right now. They are gonna Google that right now. But
Yeah.
not just writing, also producing. Again, we try to keep everything in house.
Right.
As much as we could. Ownership. That's what we're really looking for.
Right.
Tia, this is like the third album. Tia to you? Yeah, this is like the third album that we got.
Yeah. So if you go on iTunes or Spotify and you type in ACES, you'll see a picture of me and my brother. All of the music is up there. We also have a collaborative project that was called Concrete Empire.
Which is
Where
basically artists in house that we had.
hmm But
Yeah, and if you can't find it on the social or on the streaming sites, which it should be easy, but you can always find all our music that we've ever created and we ever released on our website under music. It's BogardRecords.com.
Right.
And that's BOGUARD records.com. Click the music tab and you'll see every song, everything that we've ever done. You'll see little bios about us and all that.
correct. Yep, that's our website. Yes, sir.
I think this was the last picture. I was trying to go forward, but I think this is the last picture that you sent me right here.
No, that's cool with me, man. Again, that's the process. So, as you see, I look like I'm damn near tired on my ass in that last picture too. I probably was. Again, those studio sessions, they run for so long. But again, when you have a love and a passion for something, time doesn't matter, And again, you're definitely, if not the hardest, you're one of the hardest working members of the Black media, Tony. So, and when I say hardest working, you drop about 3 to 4 broadcasts a day.
Oh, I scaled it down to 1. I had to scale it down to 1 because that 3 was starting to become a little draining. But I'm glad that I did, because it gave my audience enough time to catch up. Because when I was uploading 3 a day, everybody kept saying, Torian, I'm catching up on your videos. Ever since I started doing 1 video a day, I never get that comment anymore, which means I'm working at a pace that's good for me and my audience, especially because my audience is continuing to grow. So I knew I had to scale it back, especially to not only for myself to really take time and really put out quality stuff, because I don't know if you've seen it or noticed it, but I've started to incorporate background music into my videos. When I was doing 3 videos a day, I couldn't do that because that would have been too much. So now I started to incorporate background music into my videos, and even started to up it a little bit when it comes to the editing, adding clips in there, which I never did before. So I'm having a little bit of fun even on my side when it comes to editing. It's not like a big thing. It's not like one of those big studios or anything like that, but it's something, to put out there. That way it's something that keeps my audience engaged for as long as possible.
It's amazing, brother. Like I said, you're again, I don't know. I told you, you need to receive an award for your Black History Massacre series that you did, which is at like what 30? What was it 32?
It was 30.
33?
It was 30.
30.
30.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
30. Yeah, 30 towns.
30 towns. It's ridiculous. And the fact that you took your time and went year by year, and that lets you know exactly what happened to us. The way you took time out, that's very meticulous, and that's the same process that we kind of do too with the songs, and that's why they don't come out every month. It's very hard for an artist to drop 2 albums in 1 year because unless your music is getting written by other artists, you're experiencing everything that you're writing. So especially I know that's how we do. We experience everything that we write. So it does take time, but it's something that we put our heart and our soul in. And I hope when the family hears it, that they see the time and the effort that was put into it.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear, especially since y'all told me or told us how many like various genres y'all are tackling in this one album, and it's not just a one note album. I can't stand a one note album. I said I need something that kind of flows almost like it's almost moving like a mountain. Like you have a high mountain, a low mountain, and in between. I need something like that. Anything that's just flat is in my opinion, a dead album, a dead on arrival album.
I can't wait to hear it. You're probably just like this single, brother. You was the first one outside the camp to actually hear it because you did the artwork. So you'll definitely, we'll definitely send you like, a little snippet of the album so that it can get your art juices flowing. And yeah, man, because again, it's coming and I want. Again, I can't wait. We've been working on this for a little while now, a little over maybe 2 years now. We've been fully focusing, working on it. Of course, life came in between,
and we funded it ourselves, so we don't have a major behind us is paying for studio sessions and you know what I'm saying, and the getting artworks and all this other stuff, videos and stuff. This is basically in house. We're doing everything ourselves.
Right.
But we also wanted to feel like a major is behind it. We wanted to sound like it was made in $1 million studio, so we try to do, again, even we work with what we have to try to put out the best product for you, so that please y'all know that. I know sometimes it takes long, but because I know Brother Black Alpha beats me up about this all the time. He's like, when the album come, it's coming. We just want it to be perfect.
Make sure the drums is knocking. You gotta make sure it's knocking so you can hear it and feel it. So it sounds like,
and that's another thing.
It's a big stage.
And that's another thing too. I didn't get a chance to tell y'all about the song. And it's funny that y'all that with the album cover, well, the song cover, y'all was you said in Malibu.
Yeah,
that's where y'all was at. That song sounds like it could be played like on a West Coast setting, like while you're driving down with the top down, like on a summer day, on a breezy day, like in the sun is setting. Like it's one of those mood setting songs. I love songs that do or act in that vein. I love songs that do that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. That's what we was looking for.
It's crazy you say that, is because people say that about that record and the record that we just dropped not too long ago, Location. And both of those was constructed around the same time in the same location.
Nice.
There's another song. Yep, Location. We released that one right before this song. Yep. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna need to figure out how to hit that one.
If you go to BogartRecords.com, all the songs are actually up there. It's like a stroll down if you go to like the music, and then all the songs are actually up there. And you'll see Location. You'll see if you have Spotify, it's on there. iTunes.
If you type YouTube, let me see. If you go to YouTube, type Ace's Location, it should pop up.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I did post the link to your website in the chat. I'm sure some people have probably seen it, so they can go ahead and check that out. But yeah, is there anything else y'all have to add as far as the song goes, as far as the album goes? I mean, we know that y'all got this album coming out later on. You gave us a track listing of how many tracks is most likely going to be there. You gave us a variety of genres that's going to be on it. You said that I'm probably going to end up making the cover. Like I said, that kind of sprung onto me. That's why, like, my actual reaction was genuine because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading some of the chat. I want to say to the family again, look out for the album. Please like and share it. When you if you like the song, please, retweet it. That costs you nothing. Repost it. Please stream it. That costs you nothing.
Definitely. I know I'm
um,
definitely gonna download it. Like when y'all tell me that the album is done and it's like ready to go, I'm on my phone and I'm typing it in and I'm like, adding it to the library. So something I can listen to when I'm on my way to the gym, at the gym, on my way home from the gym,
Yes, sir. I would say again, when we get tired of the certain, I'm not going to name any artists, we get tired of like certain artists putting out a certain kind of music, let's support the artists that's trying to put out genuine music, and not talk about degrading things, so again, like, share it as much as those artists get liked and shared, please, if y'all want shit, create, have the music playing in your background. Tag me on Twitter. Tag your brother, my brother Juan on Twitter. Tag Torian on Twitter. Please, like I said, as much as word of mouth promotion as possible is always good. That's
Definitely.
always much love, much respected, much appreciated. And thank you to the family.
Most definitely.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm glad
Yeah,
y'all.
to you. She's asking something. I don't know. I don't understand it though.
I'm not really understanding what she's saying. It sounded like it looked like it was like broken up. I couldn't understand what she was saying. Oh, well, she does have a question on here that I do understand. She said, is anything personal on the album? Is it dedicated to someone specific?
Well, the song. All right, so let me describe something on my verse. When you go back here after the broadcast and listen to my verse again, I'm actually speaking about a specific family member that makes a lot in my family that makes a lot of excuses about him being in the hood and not being able to get out, and I'm basically addressing personally him on that, saying excuses will not be tolerated. Life is what you make it, and you have the choice. Hence choices every day to come out and make a better choice and do better for yourself, rather than, just dwell on what you came up. I grew up around a lot of gang members. That does not mean I'm a gang member. Okay, a lot of them are my friends. A lot of them, I have respect for, but that does not mean that it had to be my life, so, but as far as like personal, does she mean like loved ones or something? Well, first of all, to be honest with you, 96% of the album is 100% personal, but without giving away any spoilers, there's a lot of, again, because we experience things, so everything comes from our personal experience. So yes, absolutely, 96% of the album is personal. Absolutely.
You can always tell when an album is personal when you hear the lyrics. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm listening to these lyrics. I wonder if this is about someone in particular. Like, like you hear a song and it's like, it sounds like it was written for somebody that it was a dedication to. And then you be trying to figure out who is the song about, because it may not have the person's name in there. Only the artist will know who it is, but then you try to figure it out. But then on the flip side too, is that while it's dedicated to somebody that is personal to the person who made the song, the person who's listening to it may be going through the same thing, and they can dedicate that song to somebody else. So it's like, that's how music is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like, it's like an energy surge, like whatever the artist is feeling, the listener is going to feel the same way too. And it's like, I'm feeling what you're feeling right now. Because I've seen a lot of comments when people say, your song got me through so much. I was depressed. I was going through this. I listened to this song and it literally saved my life. Like I see comments like that. And I said, those are the type of songs that resonate with me. Songs that can hit you like in your core, like, and just stay there. And it's like, if you ever need like a pick me up, or so to speak, you just go listen to that song.
And that's amazing, that's amazing. Like, especially as an artist, for someone to say that my song invokes some type of feelings out of them, I did my job. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great feeling.
That's amazing. Yeah, man.
Definitely. All right, y'all. Well, I think we pretty much got out everything that we needed to talk about as far as the single goes. Again, the name of the song is called Choices. It is out now by Aces. Y'all heard it here first, or maybe second, because I know Afro had did he had did his stream before me. And shout out to Afro. By the way, for having y'all on as well. Thank y'all for coming up, and choosing me to come on my platform to come on and discuss this. I'm glad I was able to clear up time to actually have you on. The song is definitely fire. Listen to it as many times as you possibly can. Stream it everywhere that you possibly can. When the album definitely comes out, download it, save it, do whatever. Listen to it wherever you are. One last thing I wanted to ask is, what would your reaction be if you happen to hear any of your songs played somewhere and these were by complete strangers? You don't know who these people are. Like, what would your reaction be? Because I know how a lot of artists be when they say, oh, my song was on the radio. When they heard their first song on the radio, the reaction is always like a very ecstatic one. So I wanted to know from y'all, like, if y'all just went to a random place and y'all just kind of overheard your song playing, like, how would you react to that?
I know me. I would be super excited, but it would probably bring tears in my eyes. Just the fact, just how long we've been doing it, and just to see other people receiving it, it would just bring me to tears, probably. Tears of joy, for sure.
Right.
Same. I second everything my brother said. We make the music for situations like that. We want to be put in uncomfortable situations like that. But as long as people are receiving the music, that's what we created for.
Definitely. All right, y'all. With that being said, we about to head up out of here. Again, shout out to everybody that came in through the chat, ask questions, listen to the song as we played it. Again, shout out to these two individuals right here that you see on your screen. I'm heavily invested now. I am locked in. Not only with this single, not only with this song, but with the album as a whole. I can't wait to actually hear the entire thing, frontwards and backwards and everywhere in between. And I'm sure that when the album drops, I will definitely find a way to have them back on again so we can like go through the entire album, so everybody can really get a vibe of what it's about. But with that being said, we about to get up out of here. Y'all be safe. Have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of your week and be one.
Thank you.